Hi my dear students, we are back in the platform, your own platform of Biology Nagari with a new chapter Animal Tissue, which is namely in NCERT as a structural organization in animals. Basically it is a topic of zoology. In botany you are very much familiar that biology is divided into two major sections, the botany and the zoology. But in this lecture, the animal tissue, which is a portion of zoology, we are going to start this. Okay. In previous lectures, we have talked on the various topics of human physiology like nervous system, chemical control and coordination, digestion, circulation, and many more. So, without wasting the time, we should start this chapter, animal tissue. When we talk about animal tissue, first word which is coming in our mind that what actually the tissue is. So let's understand what is tissue. So how can we define tissue? Definition of tissue will be as tissue is a group of similar cells along with their intracellular substance which performs the specific functions. I am writing here. The group of cell or the group of similar cells, along with their intercellular substance which performs the specific function. Better let me explain this definition. That what this is the actual line of NCERT. NCERT is defining tissue like this: the group of similar cells along with their intercellular substance which performs a specific function. Hence, this is called tissue. It means the group of similar cells. Now, the similar in which sense? I am talking about similar in both the essence, in structure as well as function. It means these cells will be similar in both structure as well as function. So this will be both structurally and functionally same. These cells will be same structurally and functionally both. Along with their intercellular substance. Along with the intercellular substance means, now let's see what is the intercellular substance. The meaning of intercellular substance, or we can also say the intercellular fluid. We can also name here intercellular fluid. Intercellular means in between the cells. The space or the fluid which is present in between the cells which are forming the tissue are called the intercellular substance or fluid. It means the group of similar cells along with their intercellular fluid which perform the specific function, the same function. It means if these are the similar cells both in structure as well as function, and these are the intercellular fluid in between these cells. These are the intercellular fluid in between these, and these all are collectively called tissue. And this tissue will do or function a similar function. Okay. So this was the meaning of the definition, which was actually the line of NCERT. NCERT is giving this definition to you. This is the line-wise definition. हूबहू ये line आपको मिलेगी definition NCERT के अंदर. Now, this was the tissue, but in this chapter we are going to study about the animal tissue. So the animal tissue has also 4 types. It means animal tissue are again subdivided into 4 parts. First, the epithelial tissue. Second, the connective tissue. Third, the muscular tissue, and fourth one, the last one, is the nervous tissue. These are the 4 types of animal tissue which we are going to study in this chapter. one by one. But before starting these types of tissue, we have to talk about that what actually the multicellularity of animals. What was the reason of studying this tissue? We know that from the beginning of animal kingdom, when the animal kingdom started, it started from the first porifera. You have already read in animal kingdom chapter previously. So the animal kingdom is started from porifera. Porifera. The animal kingdom has started from the porifera. So let me remind once. The animal kingdom was started from first porifera, which was cellular level, which was at cellular level, because the cells was very much in porifera, but still their cells have not the capability to compact or show unity and form the tissue. So this was cellular level. After porifera, there was cell enterata, which was tissue level. So the tissue level organization was started from Coelenterata. Okay. After Coelenterata, it was Ctenophora. In case of Ctenophora, it was also similar tissue level organization. Here was also the tissue level organization. It means still these are not compactly, tissues are not compactly formed to form an organ. After this Ctenophora, when it was the time of Platyhelminthes, here was an organ level organization. It means here the tissues are compactly or combined to form organ. And after this Platyhelminthes, Aschelhelminthes was an organ system level organization. It means here many organs are combinedly working together to form an organ system. So this was the origin from the animal kingdom. So if there will be a question that from where was the tissue level organization started? So the tissue level organization started from Coelenterata, which was continued in Ctenophora but has advanced in Platyhelminthes and Aschelhelminthes. Is it clear? Now we will talk about the origin of these four types of animal tissues. Now we will talk about the origin of these four kinds of animal tissues. So there was epithelial tissue. First, second was connective tissue. Third was muscular tissue. And fourth one was, yes, the nervous one, the nervous tissue. When we talk about the origin, so the epithelial tissue's origin is ecto, meso, as well as endoderm. All these three, so it means that epithelial tissues has the origin from ectoderm as well as mesoderm and endoderm also. But in the case of connective tissue, its origin was only mesodermal. It means it was originated from the mesodermal germ layer. And in case of muscular, it is same mesodermal origin. And in case of nervous system, it was ectodermal origin. Now, one question was wondering in your mind that what is this origin? What is this ectodermal, mesodermal and endodermal? Let me explain you. Let's go from the time of fertilization. When sperm and ova fertilized, it means it was the time of fertilization. Then there was a formation of a diploid cell zygote. It means this was zygotogenesis. This zygote runs from the cleavage. There will be a cleavage in zygote as well as differentiation. It means this zygote will differentiate its bodies structurally and divide into three germ layers. And these three germ layers are ectoderm, namely the ectoderm, the mesoderm and the endoderm. Okay, these three was the germ layer in which the zygote was differentiated after cleavage. And from these three germ layers, there was an origin of a body. Some of the organs have originated from the ectoderm, some from the mesoderm, and some of the endoderm. So this was the origin. So the epithelial tissue was originated from the ectoderm as well as meso and endoderm, all three. But the connective tissue's origin was mesoderm. It means this connective tissue was originated from the mesodermal germ layer. Okay, these three are the germ layers. So it is clear to all of you. Same, namely, the muscular tissue has the origin from mesoderm and nervous tissue from the ectoderm. Is it clear to everybody? Now, after this, we are going to study detail about the epithelial tissue. After this beta, we are going to study a detail about the first, which was epithelial tissue. It was the first type of animal tissue. When we talk about epithelial tissue, the word epi means upon, upar, and thelial means covering or a layer. Okay, it means this tissue will form a layer on another tissue or can form a covering on another tissue for either for protection, either for facilitating the diffusion or filtration, or many more activities. It means there are two basic functions of epithelial tissue. First, protection. Second, facilitating the diffusion or filtration, or many more, etc. This was the two basic functions of epithelial tissue. It means epi means upon, thelial means layer or covering. It means this tissue will form a layer on another tissue or an organ for covering or facilitating the diffusion or anything filtration like many more. First, when we talk many things about epithelial tissue, the first main point about this epithelial tissue is this tissue, or I can say the layer. This layer is highly regenerative. It means it can regenerate itself. If, for example, if the skin, it is an epidermal layer, if it degenerates from anything, either from temperature or from hurt or burn, it will regenerate again and again very fastly. So these epidermal tissues has the ability to regenerate itself very easily and very fast. Okay, so this was the first property of this epithelial tissue. Secondly, these epithelial tissues have very less, or according to NCERT, negligible intercellular fluid. Negligible intercellular fluid or a substance. It means, see here on the diagram, if these are the cells of epithelial tissues, these are very compactly packed with each other. It means there is very less space between these tissues. Very less space between the cells. Okay, and if there will be a very less space between these cells, there will be a very less intercellular substance. So this was the meaning of negligible. NCERT is telling here is very much, as much less, that we can also say the negligible. Negligible word is for not even 1%. Okay, so NCERT is telling it is very much less, as much as negligible. Okay, third point when we talk about epithelial tissues, these epithelial tissues main function is to provide a cover or a layer on an organ or within other tissues, or also can facilitate the diffusion. But in the case where it was facilitating the diffusion, there will be a single layer of epithelial tissue. But where the epithelial tissues are going to provide a protection or a covering, there will be a multi-layers, many layers of epithelial tissue. So we have to divide this epithelial tissue into two major parts. First, simple epithelial tissue, and second, the complex epithelial tissue. But when we talk more about this epithelial tissue in detail, I want to say that these epithelial tissues are avascular in nature. Avascular means there will be no blood vessels, but there will be nerve cells. It means there will be no blood vessels. Do you know blood vessels? Yes, I am talking about the arteries, veins and capillaries. These are the blood vessels. So there will be no blood vessels, but there will be nerve cells. It means instead of having the avascular nature, they are having the nerve cells. But now the question arises how these epithelial tissues are getting the nourishment. Okay, so like this. If this is a very thin epithelial tissue, the layer of very thin epithelial tissue, these epithelial tissues are on a layer of non-cellular basement membrane. Non-cellular basement membrane. So the epithelial tissue always lies on non-cellular, means there are no cell on that basement membrane. Non-cellular basement membrane. So these are the epithelial layer, and below this non-cellular basement membrane there are running the blood vessels, the arteries, veins, which are having blood and nutrients. So from this they are getting nutrients from upon within, or by crossing this non-cellular basement membrane, these epithelial tissues are getting the nourishment. Okay, this is how the epithelial tissue get nourished. Okay, not directly, but through by this non-cellular basement membrane, these epithelial tissue layers are getting the nourishment. After this, now beta, one more function which is very important for this epithelial tissue is these epithelial tissue also takes part in gland formation or glandular formation. It means in the formation of gland there will be also a very much huge hand of epithelial tissue, and we have already seen in covering or providing a layer on an organ. This was also a function. Second, also take part in the gland formation. Yes, I am talking about the gland which was secreting the chemical. Okay. Do you remember in the chemical control and coordination we have read what were the glands? Glands were the special group of cells which were secreting a chemical which was called hormone. So these was the function, and also these epithelial tissue makes the internal lining in hollow organs. The organs which are hollow from inside, their internal lining was also made by epithelial tissue. I hope this much fact was very much important and enough for the epithelial tissue. And in our next lecture, we will continue from the next part, the connective tissue. Stay healthy, stay safe.